Greetings, vinyl community. This is Alexander from Wax and Wine, and I am back to tackle Rob Walker's Vinyl Tag 2024. I want to apologize for my absence. I had a video that I was planning on editing in November, and then very quickly it's the holidays, and here we are. With that aside, let's start to tackle the 20 questions. So the first question, favorite record you purchased in 2023? For me, Gabor Szabo. This is more sorcery. So this comes out in 1967 on Impulse. It's a terrific record. You have Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. You have a lot of great music. The Hungarian guitarist, just a wonderful style. I listened to that record so much. Picked that up at a thrift store, paid $2 for it. It was an incredible dig. Second one, the last record you bought in 2023. Well, Claudia and I, my girlfriend, like to drive up the coast. We go up the 101 for the holidays, spend with my parents in Oregon, and as we do so, we hit thrift stores and record stores and restaurants and cool places to stop. On the way back, we do the same, and we generally hit other spots, places that we didn't hit. So we have like a whole treasure map that we've created. One of the stops I'd like to hit on the way back is a place in Santa Rosa. It kind of breaks up a part of the drive that seems a little tedious. It's called The Next Record Store. And there I found Muses for Richard Davis. This is a repress of that record, but a wonderful jazz bassist. And that includes Freddie Hubbard. So terrific music. And then they had a unbelievable assortment there of sealed original Tamla Motown records. So I left with Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Going to a Go-Go. Still sealed. One day I will muster up the strength to open it. I do have a lot of his material, so I'm not in a rush to open it. I think it's kind of cool. So the third question, a band or singers who released 2 or more albums in the same year. For me, I could have gone with Gabor Szabo. In 1967, The Sorcerer and More Sorcery both come out, but I chose to go closer to home. So I went with the Los Angeles group, Sparks. So this was the first ever Sparks record I bought. So I bought in 2023, so that's Propaganda. And then they also released Come On to My House, which I got towards the end of the year. Dutch version, really, really cool. I'm not all in on Sparks. I still haven't seen the documentary, but really fun music. So number 4, if you could choose to listen to music from one decade, which decade would you choose? Initially, the 1960s popped into my mind. I decided to pick 1950s. And I did so because I have a really undying love for doo-wop. I think that's like the first music that I just really fell in love with. Now, a lot of those doo-wop artists that I love kind of straddle the line between the late 50s and early 60s. So if I'm thinking about like the Marcells or someone like that, but you do get Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, you get the Spaniels and Flamingos and the Silhouettes and the Skyliners, and you get Bachelor Pad space music with Esquivel, and you get some incredible blues. This was an original I picked up earlier this year. Got that for nothing, which was crazy. You get, I believe, Miles Davis kind of blue at the turn there, 1959. So I'm in the 50s. That's where I'm gonna stay. I get Elvis, I get all this other stuff. Show a band or singer from Manchester. There's a lot of great musicians when I searched the list. So I chose to go Herman's Hermits. This is one of the first records I ever put into my collection. Big avid Goodwill thrift store finder. I don't want to spend too much and just become more picky about condition as time goes by. As you can tell, still in the shrink, super clean record. What a wonderful band. You have Peyton Noon. He's always doing his radio show on Sirius XM. He's got a wonderful voice, just a very friendly character, and respond well to that. So 6, which band or singer did you listen to most in 2023? Started with this record, New Order. So this is the Peel Sessions. I got this, I think, in like February. I was at Atomic and some collection just came out and they just put out a ton of really cool music. And I've only known New Order from Substance and Power Corruption's record, right? I knew those 2 albums very well and I had them both on CD. Well, I kind of fleshed out the entire collection. Number 7, Show 7 7 inches. All right, if you wish. We'll start with Dinosaur Jr. Got this in Detroit. But for a guy who doesn't really like the catalog, I have plenty of 7 inches. So Beatles, love Till There Was You. Another Beatles, we got Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever. Got that at an estate sale. Rancid with one of my favorite songs, Ruby Soho. Holy stuffing, that's so good. Another favorite song, Speeding Motorcycle with Daniel Johnston and Yo La Tengo together. This is one of the first things I bought too. Found this next one, I'm Your Puppet. There we go. Boom. Bobby and James Purify. Found that at a thrift store in Oregon. It was a church thrift store, and it was just like this incredible collection of 45s that were in there. They were just kind of had dust on them. Someone must have passed away and given a whole collection, like Screamin' Jay Hawkins, all kinds of stuff. I left with that because it was clean. I rounded off one from my brother. This was from when he was a kid. The ultimate audiophile recording company, Peter Pan Records. Bada boom, bada bing over here. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, there we go. Still have never actually listened to this. Just, I think it's kind of fun. Number 8, who's coming to my party? So choose 4 music-related people to come to an imaginary dinner party, past or present. If I'm gonna have a dinner party, I just want to know more about this guy, Robert Johnson. So, you know, I love the blues. That is an enigmatic figure, and I would just love to pick his brain. So he would be at the dinner table. I'd have to pick one of my favorite composers. He's not pictured here, no likeness or rendering, but Felix Mendelssohn. Felix Mendelssohn, I would imagine it's a scene from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures when Mozart or Beethoven pops out, you know, and we're in a mall in the 80s, right? I can't imagine Mendelssohn at a table and just, what would this guy's coming from a couple hundred years ago. Like, what is this guy gonna think, right? So we have Robert Johnson, Felix Mendelssohn. I would also do Art Blakey. I think that guy just, you know, hopefully could teach me a thing or two on the drums and, you know, during the dinner party. And then oddly, I would have little Jimmy Dickens. So on his best days, he came in at 4'11". Jimmy Dickens is just a wonderful country artist and just another very positive person, very sweet. I imagine he would be on his best behavior with all those folks. And although it seems like the most underwhelming of choices, I just think it would be a very nice person to talk to and is country royalty. So I really love little Jimmy Dickens. I know that seems like a silly option, but I actually mean it in earnest. 9, we lost them. So I remember this from last year. We had to do something very similar. So I chose, because we lost a lot of great artists, right? We lost Tony Bennett, we lost, I think, Wayne Shorter, just too many, Donald Bailey. I chose the Pogues. Shane MacGowan, one of the few that we lost right there in the center. So that was sad. I just love this album. It's a shame. It's a shame that he's gone. So on to better things. 10. Imagine you could only listen to music from one country. Which country would you choose? I'm gonna just go America, right? And England makes me sad. It's really US or England, and I just feel like America, we've got so much more, right? It's just gonna be like, it's gonna be crushing to let go of Led Zeppelin, crushing to let go of the Beatles. You know, we're missing out on a lot of cool stuff. America, hands down. Number 11, name 3 vinyl community channels you discovered in 2023. Okay. 2 from the trunk. That is Tony P. out of Pennsylvania. What a sweet guy. You can see I respond well to positivity and friendliness. He commented on one of my videos, so I started watching his channels. Just a great guy, real love for music, easy to watch. Another guy that I came in on was the Vinyl Douche. So I like him for a completely different reason. I like him just generally because he's just digging so deep into indie rock. It's kind of incredible. So of course I will link to all 3 of these channels. And the last is a guy I've actually followed long before I started making videos, but whatever, started rewatching again. Rob from Boston, Paniques. He's fantastic, just a great love for music. The guy is incredible. You know, it's my best version of you East Coasters over there, especially Rob. But cool selections. All 3 of those people are very different with their musical taste, introducing me to a lot of cool stuff. Okay, number 12, show a record you bought when you were a teenager. I wish I were cooler. I really grew up in the CD era. I came into vinyl much later, kind of essentially when vinyl starts including CDs is when I go wholesale into records. But, you know, I bought a few. I'm showing Beethoven. This is Eroica. This is the Third Symphony. Super cool. What's special about this one, it's not particularly great recording. Amsterdam Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra doing it, and then you have Mengelberg as your conductor. So my family is from Holland, and I have an affinity for Dutch musicians, you know, like the Toots Thielmans of the world and such. So there you go. 13, show a funk or soul record. Okay, here you go. Curtis Mayfield, one of the best. Those Impressions records are freaking fabulous. But Superfly, that just checks all the boxes, dude. Pusherman, Freddy's Dead, Superfly. Who doesn't like a die cut jacket? 14, show a record you think everyone has, then show a record you think nobody has. All right, well, we just lost him. The great Tony Bennett left my heart in San Francisco. I think everyone's got it. If you don't, whatever, go to a thrift store, you'll find a copy. And then one, I don't know, I really had to overthink this one, but Memory Motel, some trip hop I got. I just like that. It's like I think it's a home press. I've only spun it like twice, but it just seemed cool. Don't think many people have that. Number 15. She's Great, a record by a female artist you bought in 2023. Well, I would have said Joanna Newsom, but then I went to the source. I actually got this record in like the middle of the year. I got this and a Red Garland record, and they were both just sitting in the bin. Pristine mono copy, that plum and maroon. This is just terrific. Dorothy Ashby, Dorothy Jean Thompson, the Detroit pianist and harpist, better known as Dorothy Ashby, friggin' phenomenal. Introducing the harp into jazz seamlessly. There's nothing gimmicky about her playing the harp. There's nothing. It's just like, whoa, of course this makes sense. Of course this is beautiful music. So obviously her and Alice Coltrane, but Dorothy Ashby for me, that kind of straight ahead jazz is just so freaking fantastic. 16. The favorite video you posted on your channel in 2023 and the favorite video you watched in the BC. Okay, so I posted a video of thrift store finds, and that one was very successful for me. It was very well watched, so I think that's it. And then favorite videos I watched, I like everything from Bob Bradley. He puts in a lot of work. Those are very entertaining videos. I also like the Digital Gramophone. I think the guy's a wizard on editing and makes it really fun to watch, and he put out a video with Andy Griffith in this film, and I've yet to rent that movie, but I will rent it, and I don't know, that was just so profound getting to watch that. It felt cool, so love that. Number 17, show a record you describe as a 90s classic. Here you go. Weezer's Pinkerton. This is a Mo-Fi recording. Pinkerton to me is actually my second choice. I would have picked Weezer's Blue Album. Alas, I don't own Weezer's Blue Album. I don't know why. I should have it. I almost picked Everclear. I almost picked the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, but I chose to refrain. You guys know my penchant for third wave ska. It's wild. 18, if I could walk into a cover. Boom. The Intimate Ellington. This is a beautiful recording. I love this record. It starts off with like this poem, but imagine just going into the studio somewhere down there in Hollywood, sit down and listen to his stories. We'd go over to Musso and Frank's, have an overflowing martini, have some steaks. Hopefully he'd bring Johnny Hodges and some other players that were on this session, and we could all just sit and talk about, you know, these wonderful times of big band jazz and everything else. It's like a greatest hits. Well, I told you I owned it on CD, and that was really kind of my favorite thing. It's New Order Substance. It is pristine. It is a US copy, original. But yeah, Temptation, I don't think it gets any better than that. But yeah, Blue Monday, Perfect Kiss. There's a lot to love on that record. Show me an album that was released in 1974. This will take us to our final question. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm picking Steely Dan, Pretzel Logic. Took me a long time to get into Steely Dan. I didn't know that Do It on Can't Buy a Thrill was Steely Dan's song. I actually thought that was a Santana song, you know, whatever. I picked this because this is my favorite. It features my favorite Steely Dan song, which is Berrytown. Tried to look into it, tried to look behind the scenes on what that song is all about. Seems like there's some conflicted history there about what was intended. But anyways, if you haven't heard it, the phrasing on Berrytown is just terrific. I don't know, it worked for me. So there you go, my Vinyl Tag 2024. Hope you enjoyed. I will try to post a lot more. Until next time, we'll see you again.